Hello trader, hope that you had an enjoyable trading day. So we are looking at GBPUSD, Euro Dollar and AUDUSD. Three of these instruments currently showing potential significant trading opportunity. First of all, looking at British Pound US Dollar to see bigger picture, we can see that from the monthly GBPUSD after back-to-back strong 4 months of bullish move from this significant monthly resistance line, we can see this instrument currently on a pullback. So if we look at the previous monthly resistance, we can see the price has crossed that high, completely has broken above. Now it's pushing back down for a deeper pullback, and as the monthly close is almost a couple of hours, what I think that after this monthly close we might see potential deeper pullback in this instrument. Now looking at weekly chart to see how the price is evolving, we can see that this is the weekly price action. So far was in a very sharp uptrending market structure, and impulse correction, impulse deeper correction. The market is forming series of higher high and higher low, which is in an uptrending market. So this is the weekly price action. So far we can see that after this weekly close, the market has crossed that high. The price has completely rejected back to the downside currently, and as this is the last day of trading week, what I think the price may try to potentially break below. As monthly close coming, we may see that potentially the price to come down for a deeper pullback with a new monthly and weekly opening. Now looking at daily chart here, we can see the market was in a sharp bullish trend, and followed by, we can see from here it started to push back down, a big drop, followed by today's price. We can see after cross of this daily previous green candles high, the price now trying to push back down, and what I think it may potentially come back here for another retest, which is the weekly low. And also we can see the monthly close coming, expecting that GBPUSD potentially drop further to this support level. Now looking at the intraday time frame from the 4-hour chart here on British Pound US Dollar, we can see that this market, the previous session, after cross of this high, after multiple liquidity grab, the price has got a stronger rejection here, expecting British Pound US Dollar to potentially drop back again to this support, or even potentially breaking below further low to create a new lower low in this market. So lower time frame price action, especially on the 1 hour and lower time frame, if we see further rejection here, we can look for potential selling opportunity in this instrument with a high probability trade setup. Now let's look at euro dollar. Now like the British Pound US Dollar, we can see that euro dollar as well from the monthly, uh, this is the current monthly price action. So far we can see the market has dropped to that monthly support, and at the end of the month we saw there was a rejection back to the upside. And previous monthly candle is, we saw there was a big long week candle, followed by this month the price from this resistance line getting stronger rejection, expecting for this market potentially to drop further to this monthly support level where there is a high liquidity. Now if we look at the weekly chart here, we can see that from the weekly, this is the weekly price action. The previous weekly was a bull candle, followed by this week the market from this resistance line, we have seen that there was a sharp drop to this support level. Currently the price at the weekly opening and closing, which is a very stronger resistance, and almost we are nearing to the end of the week, what I think the price may try to potentially retest this weekly support level. As with the monthly close, we may see that euro dollar potentially to trend back down to this support level. Now dropping down to the daily to see what kind of price action is forming. Now previous daily candle was an unusual bounce back to the upside, which is almost nearly to 1.5 ATR or 2 ATR daily candle, and from that zone what we can expect on euro dollar for the price to potentially trend back down here to this support level to create a new lower low. Now looking at the 4-hour chart here, what we can see that in this lower time frame price action, there is a 4-hour bearish engulfer, followed by a narrower candle formation here on euro dollar, expecting for this market to trend back down here, potentially with the monthly close. So if we look at the 1-hour chart here, we can see that the market slowly creating series of lower high and lower low in this downtrend, expecting that euro dollar to potentially to retest this level and then to return down in the direction of the trend. So that could be the potential wave for euro dollar in the upcoming sessions to potentially drop back to this order block here along with the monthly close. We may see that the market to potentially continue to this downtrend. Now, looking at AUD USD to see what kind of price action is forming, looking at monthly on AUD USD, also we can see that we are nearing to the monthly close. And after the previous monthly, there was a sharp rejection from this monthly support level with a big bull candle. Now, this monthly candle, we can see the price has crossed that high, and from that zone, the price has got sharp rejection to the downside with this monthly candlestick pattern, expecting that the market to potentially trend down here to create a new lower low. Now, looking at the weekly chart, where you can see that from the weekly, the price has crossed this high, which is a very important key resistance line. And after cross of this high, the market has got a complete rejection back to the downside from the weekly. And this is the weekly price action that we can see among euro dollar and GBPUSD, AUDUSD showing further bearish stronger momentum, and we might see the price to potentially break that support to create a new lower low. This is the nearest support level here, as the market has got rejection from a very key area of resistance. We could see that AUDUSD potentially continue to drop here. Now, looking at daily chart on AUDUSD, we can see that from the daily, this is the daily resistance here, and from that resistance we can see the price has got that rejection to this support level, and where the price here in this zone, what we can see, the price has formed an head and shoulder, and with that head and shoulder formation, expecting that AUD USD potentially trend back down here to this support level to create a new lower low in this market. Looking at 4-hour chart here on AUD USD, we can see that this is currently trending in this local downtrend. We have seen a break of structure here, and the price again pushing back down. That means we see that leaving it as a head and shoulder, we might see the market to potentially drop back to this long-term support level. So this is where on the lower time frame, as soon as we will find suitable entry on AUD we can look for potential selling opportunity in this instrument. Traders, if you enjoy this education and analysis, make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Thank you, and I'll see you soon in my next analysis.